Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, May the 18th, National HIV Vaccine Awareness Day, National Visit Your Relatives Day, National No Dirty Dishes Day, National Cheese Souffle Day, National Armed Forces Day, thank you so much for your service, and National Learn to Swim Day.
There you go.
Also, the 19th of May, Sunday, is National May Ray Day.
May Ray?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. It's also National Devil Food Cake Day and Take Your Parents to the Playground Day.
Take your parents to the
Yes.
playground.
Do you remember when our daughter took us to the playground and I spun in circles and fell and you recorded it?
Yes.
Good times, good times. Hey, coming up later in the program, we have Jordan Goodman. You know who he is? He's
do.
America's Money Answers Man. We're going to chat with him. He's literally written the book on many financial topics. He'll be our guest today. We're going to talk about student loan debt. That's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A British study found that 55% of people are not happy with the amount of sex they have. I wonder if they want more or they want less.
I'm sure they probably want more.
Well, not necessarily, because there could be some that are like, okay, fine,
Again.
whatever. And then there are others that are like, we don't do it enough. And the others are like, we do it too much.
Yeah, I suppose.
Wonder who that sounds like in this family. She's my wife, by the way, for those of you who don't understand what we're talking about right now. 55% of Brits say that they're not happy with the amount of sex that they have. So I've got a link to that story if you want to read all about it, or if you want to use that as some evidence to explain to somebody why you should do things more or less or whatever. Just saying, it's all available in the show notes just for you at johnandheidishow.com.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. A Michigan man was arrested early Friday morning on charges of stealing a pickup with a food cart attached. That's a good way to, blend right in. According to the report, 3:11 a.m. is when this happened. Nothing good happens at 3:11 a.m.
No, not usually.
Yeah, usually that's, what do they call it? Hijinks. Yeah, and shenanigans. Those are the kind of things that happen at 3:11 a.m. 21-year-old Zachary Jenkins was the one that stole this vehicle. Police say this food truck was a dead giveaway. He was intoxicated by the time they showed up. He was probably intoxicated when he stole the truck, too. The owner of the food cart, it was called Walking Tacos, is the one that reported that his truck had been stolen. Says here it was about a $7,000 food cart. So he kept calling himself something I'm not going to say on the radio when they caught him. Let's just say this, that he wasn't happy with himself. We'll say that. He got an operating while intoxicated license or ticket, whatever you call it. It's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Game of Thrones fans have discovered another on-camera mistake from last Sunday's episode. In this one, Jaime Lannister, I don't know who that is, or Lannister, I don't know. He lost a hand. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert if you're still trying to catch up. I probably should have said that. Okay, everybody that knows. So this dude lost a hand in this episode. But then later he was hugging a female character and his hand was miraculously back. So they're like, wait a minute, this doesn't add up.
Do you think they're doing stuff on purpose now because they get so much press out of it?
Could be, maybe.
Spot the mistake this week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it'll be really bad if they start having like sponsors, like you'll see a DiGiorno pizza in the background or something. That would be bad. 71-year-old Rhea Perlman and 74-year-old Danny DeVito are separated, but they're not divorced. The couple lives apart, but they still see each other a lot. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
They've been together a long time. I always thought they were a cool couple.
They've been together a really
long time. Yeah, she was on Cheers back in the day.
Yeah,
Loved
she was
that show.
Carla.
Yeah, big screen, little screen. Brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, your scoop of the day brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. I'm not even kidding when I tell you this. There's a thing called the annual, get ready for it, folks, Testicle Festival.
Yeah, well, we knew this.
No, this is a different one. We knew of one that happened in Nebraska.
Okay.
Because a radio station I worked at 10 years ago, more than that, probably 15 years ago, they had to decide whether or not they would advertise this on the radio. So anyway, this thing is called, I'm not even going to say the name of it again. It's happening, I believe, this weekend. It says this weekend, and I think this story is from this week, so I think it's like this right now, like happening this weekend. Visitors treated to a wide array of cooked calf fries is the technical term. Did you know that? And other delicacies. So there you go. I've got a link to the story if you want to rush right out. And
that is not something I've ever had any interest in trying.
No, me neither. And I remember going with your father, Tuesdays with Charlie. For those of you who listen on Tuesdays, we talked to her dad, and he was the one that convinced me to come
try one.
He's like, oh, you got to come to this. It's great. And we're there, and it was just an event at a little bar in the town he lives in, and that's what they were having.
Yeah, and they made you try one.
Well, they didn't tell me what it was before I tried it. I was like, "What? Nah, I'm not a big fan. What is it?" And they're like, "Oh, it's a turkey testicle." I'm like, "What? What? Why? There's so many good parts of the turkey." Nah, we don't need that part. I mean, when you get to that part, let's just say the turkey's done, and we can throw it all in the way.
It's gone now.
Yeah, we've clearly eaten enough of this turkey. Uber shares fell below $40 as the company's stock IPO continues to underperform this last week. So I don't know if they had
people are all kinds of upset about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Domino's is now offering something that people are freaking out about on the internet. It's called a Hawaiian spaghetti pizza. Guess what's on it?
Pineapple.
Chunks of pineapple and
Noodles.
a can of spaghetti.
Gross.
It doesn't sound good. $7.99 is what they start at, but that sounds like about $7.98 more than I would pay for that. But I guess there are some people that are loving it because they're posting photos. They're like, finally, something I love.
What?
And other people are like, what is wrong with you? You should seek counseling immediately. So, I don't know. Spaghetti pizza. Hawaiian spaghetti pizza. A study by Logit Boost, I don't know what Logit Boost is, but they found that there's an algorithm that can predict who will die and who will have a heart attack within 90% accuracy.
Whoa.
So the algorithm uses 85 variables to make a prediction, like your age and your weight, and I went through and did this, and according to this,
you're already dead.
I'll be dead in 3, 2, 1. No? I guess I did it wrong. A study by Ohio State University found that people are more likely to leave a bad restaurant review when it's raining outside.
Oh.
So apparently everybody's a little crabbier when it's raining out. So for the restaurants who don't want bad reviews, maybe you just close when it's raining outside.
I don't think I've ever left a restaurant review for anybody.
We've called restaurants, but usually just to say how awesome somebody was. And the amazing thing is, when you call a restaurant and say, yeah, I'd like to visit with a manager, here are usually the first words. What is the problem?
Yeah.
No, there's not a problem. I just wanted to say that so-and-so was awesome. We went in there, and they went above and beyond. They're like, oh, really? Everything was good? Yeah. So that clearly is not what they usually get for calls. A California bride is being slammed online. This is bizarre. And I apologize if you think this is awesome. I just think it's weird. Her aunt passed away. So it was like the same week that she was planning her wedding. So she's like, well, let's just do it all in one event. So there was a funeral/wedding all in one.
Oh, wow.
And she was saying, hey, this is going to help save money, and people are already coming anyway. So I understand the whole people are going to be here anyway thing. But it's just
Wow.
a little...
Probably not all at the same time in the same church, right? I mean, maybe they
it's
did
in
it the same
church.
weekend.
It was in the same church.
Okay, maybe in the same church, but not like they're not she wasn't walking down the aisle to her aunt at the end of the aisle.
I
There's
think
no
all the
way.
bridesmaids and groomsmen were also the pallbearers. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't have that much info, but I do have a link to the story. And if you want to read it, you can find it at the show notes link at johnandheidishow.com.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Today, we are chatting with America's Money Answers man, Jordan Goodman. How you doing, sir?
Great to be with you again, John.
Well, Jordan, I look forward to visiting with you every month because you've got great insight on everything financial. And right now, we've got a lot of kids that are going to be graduating from school, some from high school, some from college. And those from college are probably going to be graduating with a little bit of student loan debt, won't they?
I would say more than a little. Yeah, the average person is graduating with about $38,000 in student loan. That's the average. A lot of people, John, 50, 100, 150,000. Graduate school, 200, 300,000. They go to business school, law school, medical school. It's just staggering, the amount of debt.
And the nice thing is, you've literally written the book on this topic, haven't you?
Correct. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Student Loans, and I go into this in great detail. So this is changing society in a major way. People are, instead of having a family and going out and buying a car and renting an apartment, they're going back and living at home again. About 50% of people graduating going back and living at home again. Because they have, even if they get a decent job, they got to service their student loans.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get on with your life, and that's kind of hanging over you. Absolutely.
So what is some advice for somebody listening that maybe is getting ready to enter that world of hurt? Is there something you can maybe give them some ideas on ways to make it a little less painful?
Yes, indeed. First thing, if they got a bunch of federal loans at different interest rates, they can consolidate them all into one loan at a lower rate and make one payment a month instead of many. They could try the Department of Education consolidation program. It's kind of complicated. There's 9 different options to go through. There's a website that can help them do it, which is called studentloanify.com. Studentloanify.com. And so that may help them a little bit. And then, if they have a bunch of private loans in addition to federal loans at high interest rates, probably the thing to do is to refinance it all into one loan at a lower interest rate. And the place that I recommend there is called Splash Financial. And so the website is splashfinancial.com. And then just do /money answers. They know it's me that way. You get $350 off your first payment when you do it that way as well. And they've also got a phone number, John, which is 800-349-3938. And they have a bunch of banks and credit unions around the country who look to get you the best deal. So typically it's going to be in the 3 to 4% interest rate, something like that, instead of 6 or 9 or 10 or much higher if you have private loans. And hopefully that'll help people pay it off quicker.
That sounds good. I've taken good notes here, and I'll throw links to these in the show notes to make it easy. Also, I'll throw a link to Jordan's book and to Jordan's website as well. Now, what if I already have college loans? That's kind of what we're talking about. What you just spoke about is if I already have college loans, but is there something I can do if maybe my kids aren't quite in college yet to prepare for this, where maybe they can have a brighter future without all the debt?
Well, every dollar you can save and invest up front is one you don't have to borrow. That's what it comes down to. Probably the best thing for most people to save is do a so-called Section 529 plans, college savings plans. Each state has one. Some states are better than others. Depending on your state, you may be able to get a state tax deduction, and the money is going to grow inside that 529 plan, federally tax-free anywhere, but potentially state tax-free as well in your own state. And then invest it in stocks in the long run. Stocks is where you're going to make the most money. and in particular if the kid is younger, be more aggressive. As they get nearer to college age, you want to get a little more conservative. But that's probably the best vehicle for the average person to save to avoid having to take on this huge amount of debt, John.
Very, very nice. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for all that you do to help people in the world of finance. I know this is something that, it's a big part of our life, isn't it?
Huge, and because the tuitions are going up so much, and people just aren't able to save that much, it's becoming bigger and bigger all the time. Unfortunately, I wish people would get out of school with no debt, but it's just hard with the numbers these days.
Well, I appreciate everything you're doing to help make it a little bit easier.
Well, I try, and again, I can always go to my website, moneyanswers.com. I've got a lot of videos and resources on all these different topics.
Again, our guest today, Jordan Goodman. He is America's Money Answers man, and I've got links to all the things we talked about in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com, and we also have a link to his website, which is moneyanswers.com. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The original 7 dwarves had different names. All of a sudden, Disney came up with these fun names. You know what the original names were?
Slappy, Skippy, Jimmy,
No.
Tommy.
No, but you're closer than you would think. So here were the original names for the pint-sized miners. Chesty, Tubby, Burpy, Deffy, Wheezy, Hickey, and Awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
I kind of like those names better.
Those names they're kind of funny, but boy, that's none of those are really great names. Sleepy and Doc and those guys. But when you think about Chesty, Tubby, Burpy, Deffy, Hickey, Wheezy, and Awful, yeah, I think they did the right thing. Thanks for listening to this fun fact on The John and Heidi Show.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, fear this. It's time for fun with phobias. Today's phobia is papophobia. Papaphobia. Papophobia. Heidi, what do you think that is?
Fear of female exams.
No, I see where you're going there. But no, it's actually the fear of the Pope. Papal, that kind of thing. That's why it's papophobia.
I can see that.
Papaphobia.
He's got a scary hat.
I don't think his hat's that scary. It's a kind of cool hat. Fear of the Pope. Today's fun with phobias.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A nude man was playing basketball in Florida when the police rolled in and asked him to, hey, you need to cover stuff up. And he's like, nah, you know what? I really like doing this. I think it enhances my skill level.
Okay,
Whoa.
then.
29-year-old Jordan Anderson, it says, and I'm not sure why they put this in the story. They got a call about a white male who was not wearing clothing. Do you think it was important that they put the race
It doesn't
of male?
matter what the race is.
No,
If
but I
you're
just thought it was
playing
interesting.
Basketball nude.
I just thought it was interesting they felt like they needed to put that in the story. I have
Yeah.
no idea why that was important, but now we have a clear picture. Thank you. William Humphreys was the officer that showed up, and he talked to the gentleman, and he said it enhances his skill level when he's not wearing no clothing. So
That's
he was asked to
super.
put clothing on, and he complied. So he did cover up and, still got arrested. I don't know if he got arrested. Yeah, he did. Arrested, locked up in lieu of a $500 bond. So he was arrested
there you
for that.
go.
So if you're wondering what would happen if you play basketball in the nude, now you know.
Now you know.
You probably weren't wondering, because that is some weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A Florida man is behind bars for allegedly bringing his 11-year-old son to work with him. Well, here's the problem. His work is, well, he's a burglar. 32-year-old Joseph McIntosh, 23-year-old accomplice. They were collared Saturday. This is last Saturday. I love they say that nowadays. Collared. They were caught. Why do they say collared? That's just a funny way to say it. Anyway, they were on the front porch of a home that they had just burglarized. 58-year-old property owner was not present at the time of the burglary. McIntosh was accompanied during the heist by his 11-year-old son.
That's just horrible.
He was forced to be there by Dad. Dad made him come along. They were found on the porch of the residence with items in their hands, and this kid had stuff in his backpack that came from the residence.
Man.
Yeah. Anyway, the guy was charged, in addition to all of his other stuff, with child abuse as well.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
And a felony and methamphetamines possession. See, he's made a lot of bad choices. He got locked up for all of that.
I hope they
a bad
take
idea.
that kid away from him completely.
You don't do that.
That's
it's
horrible.
It's a bad plan. It's today's moment of duh.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these three things. Heidi, tell me, what do these three things have in common? I don't think you're going to get this one today. I just get a feeling.
Okay.
All right. A jacuzzi.
All right.
An airline. And New York. I just think this is too tough. We're not sports people, so I don't think you're going to get it.
Oh.
Yeah. Jets. They all have jets.
Oh.
The New York Jets.
Okay.
Airline jets.
Okay.
And a jacuzzi jets.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
If I would have said West Side Story, would that have helped?
No.
Wasn't it the Sharks and the Jets?
I have no idea.
I think that's what it was. I haven't seen it, but somebody was just, I posted something where I said something was on the West Side, and then they were asking if I was a fan of the Sharks or the Jets. So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that has something to do with West Side Story.
I've never seen
Either
it.
that or I'm completely wrong. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show with these three things.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of ripitgloves.com, promo code radio. That's ripitgloves.com, RIPIT gloves.com. Some police officers are in the news, Heidi.
Okay.
So usually, for whatever reason, when you hear about a police officer in the news, it's usually not a good story.
In the news.
In the news, but today it is a good story. Police officers in California built a wheelchair ramp for an elderly couple after responding to a medical call at their residence. Sunnydale Department of Public Safety posted the story on Facebook. It says on Monday evening, several of our officers responded to a medical call at a residence in Sunnyvale. After treating the patient, the officers discovered the wheelchair ramp was in need of some major repairs. The couple, both elderly, were unable to physically repair the ramp themselves, and they didn't have the money to pay somebody to do it. The officers knew this needed to be done. I'm looking at the images here, and yeah, the wood was all rotten. It was bad. So they left, they gathered supplies, and they came back to repair that ramp. It says, although the officers believe they do not need any special recognition for doing this, we wanted to share the story to show you the often unseen kindness the officers spread throughout the communities.
Absolutely.
I think that's really cool.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that they shared this story, so that way we got to share the story. So I've got a link to the story. It's in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. If you come across good news or anything funny that you think would be good for us to share on the show, you can share that with us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, or right through the website, johnandheidishow.com.